Herman Hunter again in my second entry in the I'm Not Raking Leaves saga. It's cold out. The rain has abated. It's now a drizzle. And the ground's wet, and there is no way I'm raking leaves. The dog's outside now. I think my wife let him out, probably heard me talking to myself, and went inside, shaking her head silently. I figured I'd do another video because I still got a cigar I got to finish. It's an expensive cigar, so I don't want to just throw it out. Wife is baking an apple and a pumpkin pie. They have a Thanksgiving celebration at the school. So she's decided to bake apple and pumpkin pie, and I've been pretty much kicked out of the kitchen. See, I make the Thanksgiving turkey every year. I make the stuffing and all that other stuff. And I usually, if in times like this, I would go in and cook, but it's sort of been supplanted in the kitchen by what she needs to get done for school. I wanted to talk about why I've embraced self-publishing. I did a blog post on why I've tried to go down the traditional route with the first Frankie follow-up book. And now I'm going to do the opposite as to why I'm no longer pursuing traditional publishing and going self-publishing. And the reason why I'm embracing self-publishing is mainly because I'm not going to get traditionally published. I went through over 50 agents, probably 12 small publishers, because small publishers allow you to submit unagented manuscripts without an agent. Nobody picked it up. There's several reasons for this, and I kind of knew this before I started. The first being that it's a first book in a series. Series are rather risky for publishers. And the second reason is because I'm an unknown author. The third reason is I'm an unknown author trying to publish a series. And all those are very risky. And I can see the financial reason why nobody wanted to pick up the book, even though when I did have people read it, I got back a lot of positive feedback. They liked my world building. They liked my dialogue. They liked how I used words, stuff like that. But it was always one reason that killed it. The most predominant of them being it has to be in first person, and I'm not writing my book in first person. And that actually dovetails into the real reason why I've embraced self-publishing. It was midway through this traditional publishing process that I started to get a very uneasy feeling about going the traditional route. And this was solidified, made corporeal, by an article that I wrote, by an article that I read by another author in their little quest to get traditionally published. And they started off with a manuscript. They submitted it, got rejections. It was a process that took years. And when they did get somebody that was interested in it, they said they have to rewrite it. And then when they rewrote it, they said, this is a good start, but now you have to rewrite it as a comedy. So they rewrote it as a comedy, and eventually that's the one that sold. And that queasy feeling that I had got real big. Because I was looking back at some of the reasons why I got rejected, outside of they just took my submission, threw it in the garbage. the reasons why they got, all the reasons why I didn't get picked up. If I had written it in first person, maybe I would have had a better shot. Somebody else's opinion of how well the book would sell. And then I started thinking to myself, do you really want to sacrifice whatever vision you have for your works just to satisfy somebody's opinion of what will sell? And granted, yeah, they're the experts and all of that. But I've seen a lot of stuff coming out of the entertainment industry, and I'm not sure my vision was all that bad. I don't want to get too much into the weeds with this because it'll just make me sound, very bitter and kind of pissy. Pardon my French. And to be honest, I kind of am bitter. Everybody wants to be acknowledged and recognized, and I want to sell like 50 to 100,000 books. And the fastest way of doing that is to, maybe have that lightning in a bottle and have the mass distribution of the traditional publishers. And that's not going to happen. But really what it came down to was vision. And the one thing that I've always said, and I tell to everybody, and a lot of this has to do with my own life experience in building a 30-year career in software, is you've got to be true to yourself. That means you got to stay true to your vision. You've got to stay true to the way that you do things and who you are. Don't try to be someone else. There are a lot of bad things about me, don't get me wrong. But there are a lot of good things too. And when I do things, they often turn out very well. It's because I know how to write software. I know how to make things work. And frankly, I've done a lot of stuff that I won't go into detail about, but I've done a lot of things I can be proud of. Big things, ambitious things. And that started to come about because I stopped trying to be the perfect employee and started being true to myself. And while there were some ups and downs, I have no regrets about the outcome. I make a decent living writing software. I can't complain. And I have a lot of skills that I can bring to bear when I come to an employer. And so why would I sacrifice that? Why would I sacrifice my vision? Just to get a bite of that tasty apple. So after I read that one article, I decided that if nobody picked up the book by the end of the year, this year, that I would go full-fledged into self-publishing. And actually, I didn't wait that long. When I started revving it in the tomb, which was actually last year around this time, I decided that I was going to go full-fledged into self-publishing one way or the other. And now I've embraced self-publishing in its entirety. I know Doug Knaple says, when you're an artist, you have to deal with a lot of rejection. Okay, fine. I guess I have to accept that. I'm probably not going to get the book sales like I do with a traditional publisher. But I have a vision as to how I want these books to all come about. The books themselves are all interconnected in many ways. I would have to fight with a publisher to maintain that vision and I'm pretty sure I would lose. And so it's best that I just walk away from it now and build my own brand and do this the hard way. I built my career in software the hard way. Might as well do the same thing with my writing. And I say this to every author out there, from a guy who has experience not necessarily in writing, but in other endeavors that are creative, is that you've got to embrace your vision and you have to be true to yourself. Don't try to please other people when you know you have something that works. Now, granted, I have no idea if anything that I've written is going to work. As I said in the last video, I'm walking into this blind. My gut tells me I'm on the right track. We won't know until I do it. So it wasn't the rejection that turned me to self-publishing, although that helped a lot, and the fact that it would probably take years to get one book published, that was another big factor. I ain't getting any younger. I'm not going to wait years and years and years and years just for somebody to acknowledge what I have and get it out there. I'm going to go full bore my way, self-finance it if I can, publish it myself, promote it myself, put in the work, do whatever it takes to get book sales, and go that route. In the end, I have to be true to myself. I have to be true to my vision. I have to be true to the characters that I've created. I have to be true to the themes that I've developed. Otherwise, otherwise, what am I? Like I said, it's my words, it's my concepts and my vision. And I'd rather stand and fall doing things my way than to have to run around and try and make other people happy other than the people who read my books. So that's another window into my soul, I guess. And still drizzly outside. It's really freaking cold. This will be the last video I do, so. This is me signing off from the I'm Not Raking Leaves Chronicles. And hopefully I'll have another video out sometime soon. Later.